Hello again, and welcome to Crime and Music. I'm your host, Brian J. Kinsley, and with me, as always, my friend Ben Rubel.
You feel like you screwed that up, don't you, Ryan?
Nah, the carbonation
it's like
already
one
left the
little
can.
itch. Go ahead. All right,
Well,
hold on, everybody. Everybody just give Brian a minute. There it is.
But the carbonation already left, so I didn't think I'd get the pop. It's like, we don't have to do it every time. But every other Wednesday, we do bring you a new true crime podcast about people in and around the music business and their misadventures into law breaking.
Yeah, last week we did, or Axl Rose.
Axl Rose.
Okay, that's good. Good name. That's one. I heard of that guy.
Yes.
And some of them I haven't heard of, but most of them, I think most of ours, people have all heard of these peoples.
They're usually famous musicians or people in the music industry, so they have had some level of fame. You've heard of them or heard about them.
Well, and I bet most of our audience isn't just like randomly clicking on this link, not knowing it says something about music. These are people that are into music.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, or into crime, but I bet mostly into like music.
If you're into crime and music, go to crimeinmusic.com or any of the social medias. Send us a shout if you have people you want us to cover, or if you like the show, just tell us where you're listening. Say hey. If you're from Canada, say hidely ho, neighbor, and let us know.
Flanders to our north. Hey, and if you want, I mean, if anybody's so inclined, hit Brian up on the socials, and he'll send you a neat little sticker. He made some stickers. They're fun stickers. They're good stickers. We talked about the stickers last episode.
We did. They're
I
new.
just want to say it
It's a new
again.
thing.
I mean, they're newer. Now they're getting a little older, but
Happy with the stickers, aren't you?
I like the stickers.
All right.
It's merch. It's your first swinging a hit on merch.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll put a picture of the stickers up on our Facebook so people can see what we're talking about.
It's a QR code.
It is a QR code.
But it's a fancy one.
It is. QR online. I don't know. I don't know how you'd scan your phone with your phone. Well, check out these really cool stickers we got, everybody.
Hey, it looks pretty.
Let's do what we do best. Guess the guests.
That's not what I do best.
Yeah, I know. I figured I'd tee that up for you.
Not what I do best.
I'm disappointed it's still in the QR code because it works. I tested it. I swear to God. All right, are you ready?
Been hyping up these stickers for a while now. They don't even work.
Just squares. They're just dots and dashes. They don't even work.
Just put them in your sticker book, people.
Just everyone get out your sticker book. Go to your favorite sticker, rip it out, and replace it with the Crime and Music QR sticker.
Do not peel the back off, though.
All right, are you ready? You're burning your time, and I really
Takes
think
away
you
from
got a shot at this one.
All right.
We're gonna go with some nicknames. Ready? Nicknames. Icky Renrut.
What?
Icky Renrut.
All right, no.
Loverboy. Not the band. Loverboy.
Loverboy. I'm going to say it's a dude. All right.
Yeah. Icky Renrut, Loverboy. Izir Luster Turner.
No.
He married the Queen of Rock and Roll. His last name is Turner.
Ike Turner?
Hey, Ike Turner.
All right. We're playing a little hard and fast with the nature of this game.
I like you to have a win, though.
I know. Well, Brian always wants to have a win. Okay.
I tried over the win.
What was that first thing you called? Icky
Renrut.
Ike Turner.
There's no... I couldn't find any history on Icky
Sounds like
Renrut.
something you hear on Scooby-Doo.
Right. Yeah, you're just like, you're making sounds. I don't
Your
know.
lips are moving and my ears are working, but words aren't being made.
Tooly-loo-hoo. You're like, what? Like, I don't
Ike
know.
Turner.
Ike Turner, everybody.
All right. I feel like we're getting a little dark on this one here today. Yeah?
I mean, yeah.
I know. I know there's some spousal abuse in the cards there.
I try and keep it as light as you can with spousal abuse. But...
Ike Turner. I don't know a lot about Ike Turner.
Oh my God, dude.
I know
he has a wild ride up and down with obviously Tina Turner, Anna Mae or whatever her name is. We'll get there. He basically invented rock and roll.
Well,
No,
literally the long list of people that did.
No, so, I'm not kidding you. Those people will tell you Ike Turner invented rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Question.
But we'll get.
Oh, what did you call Tina Turner? She was the grandmother of rock and roll.
She is known as the Queen of Rock and Roll.
The Queen, the grandmother.
Wow. She's been rolling on that river for too long.
I've never heard that. The Queen of Rock and Roll.
Rolling on a river. Yep, that's her. Yep, that's.
Right. We'll get there. I didn't know she's queen.
We'll get there.
Like the queen. Mom.
Ready?
The mom of rock and roll.
The mum. November 5th, 1931. Born Izir Luster Turner Jr.
Izir.
Okay. Yeah. Izear.
Izir.
We're going to call him Izzy.
It sounds very like, what was the dude on the Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood thing, the black guy? He was a...
Wow.
No, the one where not the...
You're trying to, you're trying to quote me...
never mind. Go ahead. Izir. It seems like it's from a country I'm trying to think of. That Morgan Freeman...
Persia.
Nah. Meh. No.
Okay.
Maybe.
The Ottoman Empire.
It sounds like we're now playing the $25,000 pyramid. Persia. The Ottoman Empire. Morgan Freeman. Yes!
Places with somebody's named Izir. All right. Well, Izir, a place where he was named Izir Luster Turner Jr., was in Clarksdale, Mississippi, USA.
All right.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
PP.
Two parents, Beatrice Cushenberry and Izir Luster Turner Sr.
Oh, he was a junior.
Yeah, that's usually, what does that mean, typically?
Get ready.
People who are named Junior generally go off the rails. His mom was a seamstress, and his dad was a Baptist minister.
Okay.
Izir was the youngest child. He had an older sister, Lee Ethel.
Lee Ethel.
Don't look, Ethel.
Her first name was Lee?
It was too late. She already been mooned.
How is it spelled, Lee?
L-E-E, Ethel. E-T-H-E-L,
right.
Lee Ethel, who was some, quote, 10 years his senior. They didn't keep a lot of accurate records back in the 30s in Mississippi.
No, they don't keep a lot of accurate records in Mississippi these days.
Might be the ringworm. Izir said when he was a young man, he remembered his dad being beaten and left for dead by a mob. And I was just like, geez, what does dad do?
He was Baptist minister.
I guess. His dad lived out the next 3 years in a tent in the yard, and then finally died of those injuries.
What? They wouldn't let him in the I feel like I'm going to... Brian knows I'm going to want more information, but there's none to have.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, it said he lived in a tent in the front yard, in the front, not the back, in the front yard. And then because of those injuries that he had to stay out there.
The dude gets pummeled.
By a mob beaten.
Mobbing. He got mobbed.
He got mobbed.
And mobber. And he got hurt. Didn't die.
Right.
He's pretty bad. It sounds like he's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So what do you do with these people? Put them in a tent.
Put them in a tent in the front yard.
Where do you put them at? In the backyard? No. Front yard. Why?
Let people see what they did.
That's just because.
Pretty much. And
I'm
he
not
died.
Have the beat up old man in my house.
Well, that's
Lee Ethel can't handle that. Put him in the front yard.
He needs fresh air and, sunlight, vitamin D. That cures a lot of ailments. So, unfortunately, he died of those injuries.
A few years later.
Tez Drozdowski, he's a blues historian and writer, probably somebody who did a fair bit of research, says that Izir Sr. died in an industrial accident, and he was a Baptist minister. So, why is he in an industrial accident? Or did he get beaten to death?
I don't know.
So, yeah, we're left with some clues. Basically, if you recall the guy, Captain Beefheart, remember how he remembered his own birth?
They're just remember it any way you want.
Ike Turner has a very similar thought process, we'll say, where we bring in some outside sources like historians and writers. So I'm more inclined to say that Ike Turner's dad died working at an industrial job somewhere in Mississippi.
You feel like if you're in a tent in the front yard, if that seriously happened, I'm going to be stuck on this. I'm sorry. I'm going to really focus.
The neighborhood would notice that for 3 years.
No, I feel like that would be
lived in the front yard.
A thing you would get if you had some communicable disease or something. Hey, don't go in the house with the wife and the kids. Go live in a tent until you get rid of the tuberculosis.
So they beat him and gave him tuberculosis. That's from Mississippi. I don't know.
That's high-level thuggery right there.
That's a mobbing.
He was inoculated with TB.
All right.
And got a black eye.
Izir's mom, Beatrice, she remarries a guy named Philip Reed.
Okay.
He's a violent alcoholic.
A violent alcoholic?
Yes.
He plays the violin and drinks?
Nope. He's, he may, but he'll beat you with the violin after he's done down in that bottle of vodka.
Well, They couldn't do it the too many times. Violins are not that sturdy.
Him and Izzy, his stepdad, I guess, and I'm going to call him Izzy. Ike Turner will be now referred to as Izzy, because I didn't find the Icky Renrut name until later, so I would have called him Icky the whole time. But
Icky.
So Izzy, I can change it to Icky. I mean, my brain will just...
Icky.
All right, so,
Icky,
it just seems weird. Izzy and his stepdad don't get along, basically, because he's a violent alcoholic. Makes a lot of sense.
I like the violin.
They often argue and fight.
Well, how old is he at this time? I mean, I argued and fought with my dad all the time.
Yeah, he's like sub-12, basically.
It started probably around 12, 13, yeah.
So this one time, Izzy and his stepdad get into a fight, and Izzy KOs his stepdad with a piece of wood.
Oh, wow. Was it a bat?
I just said a piece of wood, so I think you might have got a log or something and just clicked him from behind. And
like a stick?
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, that's assault, brother. I believe it was a stick or a log.
It was like a skewer?
No, that would be not big enough to
like a
KO
wooden
somebody.
Spoon?
That depending on the size of the spoon, you might be able to knock somebody out.
Well, if the
with it.
log was too big, I don't think he could swing it.
Legend has it he whittled down that spoon from a slightly larger spoon.
Ah, okay.
After he knocks his stepdad out, he runs away to Memphis. Quote, lived rough for a few days before returning home.
Lived rough.
Quote.
I feel like that's a saying, living rough. Like that describes a bigger picture that we don't know.
But again, this is like Turner's recalls from his memoirs, and so
this is a lot of it from his memoir. In his words.
In his words,
alone.
yeah.
Okay.
Anytime there's quotes, typically right now it's from him.
Living rough.
Let's see if we can introduce some new things here. 1937, age 6, Izzy gets. Oh God. Okay. Well, he figures out what sex is. He's introduced to sex by a middle-aged woman known as Miss Boozy.
Oh, did this come up in an earlier episode? How old was he?
6. We had a 10-year-old before.
Okay, so we got the pedophilia in here. Great. At age 6.
Yeah.
What are they doing sexually?
Well, first...
Things have to be doing unto him.
Izzy walks past her house
to
school, and she would ask for help, like feeding the chickens. She's like, hey, Izzy, come here. I need some help with my chicken duties. And so Izzy recalled that he would help her feed the chickens and then take him to bed. And he said this happened daily for some time.
Was he getting a boner? That's my question. I'm not going to tiptoe around this anymore.
I don't
age
know,
6,
man.
There are no boners in play. Not like sexual boners.
Well, let me tell you this. He claimed not to be traumatized by this. And he said, quote, in those days, they didn't call it abuse. They called it fun.
What? Isn't it weird? This is just the gender difference. When dudes got like, I'm not saying all of them, but like let's say you were in 9th grade, 8th grade, and you banged your teacher, like the hot, young teacher and you're going around like high-fiving all your buddies. And even after that teacher gets sent to jail for doing what she did, you're still kind of like high-fiving your buddies. That's just the way but
I don't know. I think that's wrong.
I also think it's wrong.
But the male mentality would he would high five.
That's what Ike's doing here.
That is.
He's doing this exact thing. That's my point here. I'm not saying it. I'm not taking a hard stance one way or the other, or right or wrong here, but that's what he's doing. Let me take a stance. That's wrong. All right, I get that.
Thank you.
But that's what he's doing. That's what dudes do. Yeah, I was raped. High five. Boom.
Well, he was also raped by another middle-aged woman named Miss Renee, Renee, R-E-E-N-E-Y, Renee. Anyway, before he was 12.
See, and I wonder, you can throw the word rape out there.
That's just how it
But that's because you're young. That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Right, but
8th grade, Izzy gets a job as an elevator operator at the Alcazar Hotel in downtown Clarksdale. Explain to people what an elevator operator is, Ben.
It's a dude that pushes the buttons.
I believe it was a handle at the day.
Button pusher. No, there was a lever in there, and it took a certain amount of skill that the general public did not have to operate an elevator. And I mean, they had doors
up and down.
No, they had you like shut the doors physically. You'd shut the cage that you're in, and then you would ask. They'd say what floor, and they'd tell you, "Oh, I'm going to the 3rd floor." Okay, going to the third floor, and then they hit the lever until they got to the third floor, and then they had to back off the lever. So like a throttle. And that's the thing. What?
I've never really thought about the life of an elevator operator. And then now I'm like, you're in an elevator all day, 8 hours, minimum 8 hours a day, right? You're working your shift.
Sure, yeah.
And nowadays, it's like one of the most awkward places to be in the world is in the elevator with other people. You're doing it every day. I mean, do you think of yourself like a train driver, like a train conductor? Like, I go up and I go down, and I go up and I go down. It's like, welcome onto my train car.
I think you had a certain, as an elevator operator, that would, back then, you're automatically in a building that needs an elevator.
Yes.
So it's not just some dumpy-ass department store, because they didn't have those. Every building that had an elevator back then was a pretty nice building, I bet. New, modern.
Okay.
It wasn't, elevators have been around now for, like, only 120 years.
Right.
So then it was still new. These buildings were new. They were nice. It wasn't like the Ramada Inn with 3 floors. Okay, this is a nice building. So the certain sense of decorum that the elevator had, they had to wear a nice suit, little hat, and they had to then, you didn't speak with the people there unless they asked you a question. So you were part of the machine in a way.
So elevator operators are pilots of the future.
They're more like...
They fly buildings.
Stewards of the moving box.
Don't make eye contact, please. I'm not allowed to talk to you.
Yeah, they're like the handsome cab drivers. Rusty! Rusty!
Why? That's terrible. All right, so yeah, basically it's a guy who stands in the elevator and gets you to the floor you want to go to.
I didn't know he had such a long sidebar for elevator.
Well, it's a foreign concept if you think about it now, and as you know, we have a younger demographic than we actually are.
Well, looking back at it, Brian, when you asked me, Ben, explain to our audience what an elevator operator is, I would say it's a person that operates an elevator. Enough said.
But it's like that's their whole job. Like, where can I get this job? Can I do this job now?
Welcome to Walmart.
Yeah, well,
that's it.
That's for retirees, though. You let them have their purpose.
You're closer to retiring, Brian, than you are from, like, whatever the opposite of retiring is. Think about that. We're 40-something, dude.
I don't like to think about that.
You can say welcome to Walmart. There was a young lady at there. I went and returned a battery to Walmart, a car battery, which was a long story itself. And she was a young lady. I talked to her like 3 times. I had to go into I had to go to their customer service and then to the battery place and back to customer service every time I'm passing her with a cart with a battery in it. And they're there to make sure you're not like leaving the store with merchandise.
Well, you got a core charge on that battery, right?
Well, it was a new battery. It was a long story.
Big. Speaking of long stories,
you're not supposed to return batteries, by the way.
You're not supposed to do that.
But if you talk really fast, confuse everybody, and smile, you can return batteries.
Generally, that's how it works. Wow. I don't know how they did it back then, like we're doing it now, but keeping people listening. Izzy works at the radio station WROX. Rocks! It's located in the same building. Damn it.
As the elevator?
Yeah.
We got to go back to that story then.
We have to go back to the elevator story. This is a hard edit because I messed up.
Oh, Mr. Tyler going down. Remember that Aerosmith?
I do.
Video?
Excellent segue. That is exactly what Izzy would say when people got into his elevator. Now, the elevator was located in this big building in downtown Clarksdale, right? Also in this building is his radio station, WROX. Rocks. And on his break, Izzy would go down and watch this guy, DJ John Friskillo. And he'd play records, because back in the days.
What they do.
Playing records. So one day, Friskillo sees Izzy watching him, and he's like, "You like this stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I like this stuff." It's like Friskillo teaches him all about radio and the control room. And Izzy said, "This was the beginning of his thing with music."
His thing with music.
I got a thing with music.
And this is the beginning of it.
Here we are at the beginning
of his thing.
He gets an opportunity to play records one day while Friskillo's out getting coffee. He's like, "Oh, okay." And he puts the needle down and plays a record. Eventually, he gets a job as the late afternoon shift DJ.
Nailed it.
So Izzy's great.
Played the shit out there.
He heard all the latest music. He's playing all sorts of variety of artists. His show's like kind of diverse, He's
and this is in the mid the late 30s or early 40s?
I believe it's the late 30s, early 40s. You
Okay.
are correct.
All right. I'm ready for him to invent rock and roll.
We're going to get
all
there.
right.
We're on the tip. I'm telling
Okay.
you. He wanted to
what
learn
she said.
piano, and so after going to a friend's house, he heard this guy, Pine Top Perkins, heard him play
Mm-hmm.
music, right? Now, he started out as a guitar player, and he got into, okay, you were supposed to say, wait, Pine Top? Why do they call him Pine Top? And you didn't.
Oh, hold on. Wait, Pine Top? Why do they call him Pine Top, Brian?
All right, well, he played this song by this other guy named Pine Top Smith.
I don't got to ask about that. Everybody knows about Pine Top Smith.
Actually, he climbed pine trees when he was younger, so they called him Pine Top, and then that's first Pine Top.
They should have called him Porcupine.
Why?
Porcupines climb pine trees.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's more terrifying now, actually. I think that's the fact of the show at this point. Porcupines climb pine trees,
Yeah.
so they can be face level with their quills.
They can jump on your head.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I'm never going to a pine forest again. All right, so here's the thing about Pine Top Perkins. He's cool because he started out as a guitar player, and he got into a knife fight with a chorus girl this one time in Helena, Arkansas.
Helena, Arkansas?
Yeah,
You mean Arkansas, don't you, Brian?
I do. That's how it's spelled on the card. Arkansas Dave. This chorus girl, she sliced some tendons in his arm, right? Pine Top Perkins. And so he couldn't play guitar anymore. So then he became one of the most influential blues pianists of all time.
So he could play the piano, though.
But not play the guitar, correct.
All right, whatever.
He's got a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, dude, and he's inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. He must have done something right for the piano.
Oh, okay.
So Izzy hears this guy playing at his buddy's house, like a relative, and he's like, oh my God, I want to play the piano. So he goes home and he talks his mom into giving him money for piano lessons, and then Izzy goes straight down to the pool hall.
Do they have a piano down there, or?
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like he didn't take the formal lessons. He learned from boogie-woogie style from this guy Perkins, who worked at the pool hall playing piano.
So he bought Perkins beers all day.
What are you doing there? Oh, you need another beer? All right, hold on, sir, Miss Perkins. And okay, what are you doing there? And so, yeah, Perkins worked playing at the pool hall, and Izzy would go down there and play piano, learn how to play boogie-woogie.
Boogie-woogie.
Right.
They haven't not invented rock and roll yet. They got boogie-woogie.
I know.
They have boogie-woogie.
I'm
They
telling you.
had boogie,
We'll get
and
there.
separately Woogie came along. They put them together.
Boogie and woogie.
Oh, they're both kinds.
You should really...
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Aha! I was ready for that. All right, so Izzy's teaching himself guitar, too, and he's playing along with these old blues records. So he's starting to build, like, this musical base,
Mhm.
basically, what we're
You
doing.
got boogie, woogie, and blues.
Right. So some point in the 1940s, Izzy moves into the Riverside Hotel in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
He moves into a hotel.
Yeah,
That's weird to me.
Well, it's run by this lady, Mrs. Z.L. Ratliff.
He banging her, too?
That was not mentioned. It's a famous hotel on the Mississippi Blues Trail, and it housed blues musicians who are out on the road working gigs and stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of like it offered them a home base, and then
Yeah.
they go out and play shows. Age 13, 1944. He lives at this place, hosts musicians, and every once in a while, Izzy gets a chance to play backup for the guys who come through. Right?
He's 13.
I'm just saying.
I mean, this is just amazing to me.
Well,
13.
this is Mississippi in the 40s. That's
Should
what
be
you
home
could
playing
do.
Minecraft at 13.
There was no mine. There was working in the mine in
Right.
doing a
Yeah,
craft.
yeah, do that.
But you can't do that. So basically, you got guys like Duke Ellington and Sonny Boy Williams coming through, and every once in a while, he'd be like, I play the piano, I play the guitar. And they're like, well, sit in, play with us. And it's like, oh my God, I'm playing with Duke Ellington. So Sonny Boy, this guy, Sonny Boy, liked him enough, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to take you on tour. I'm going to give you a shot.
You're 13.
Yep, Izzy, 13, drops out of school and plays piano full-time with Sonny Boy Williams.
All right. That makes sense at 13.
If you're good enough, right? Why not? Look at Hannah Montana.
Where
or
where are
whatever.
the parents? I mean, people think that there's bad parents today. This dude's going on tour at 13 with Sonny Boy.
He was going to go home to his abusive alcoholic stepfather? What do you,
I'm not. I'm just saying, parents have always been terrible. Today's no different.
No argument there, I guess. I mean,
We've been fucking up kids on this earth for generations now.
no, enough said. All
All
right.
right.
1946, Izzy joins rhythm ensemble, the Top Hatters.
All right, the Top Hatters.
Why did they call them the Top Hatters, Ben?
Did they climb to the top of trees and?
They wore top hats.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I don't know why they called them the Top Hatters. I just maybe I assume they were
the Top
hats.
Hatters.
They play the greater Clarksdale area, so he's getting a little bit more exposure than the Mississippi Blues Trail. Their style was big band, and they played from sheet music, so they had like stands and
Oh, yeah.
music. Now, I have one rule if I'm going to be in a band with you, it's no music stands on the stage. Either you know the songs or you don't.
Yeah, you're playing classical instruments, though.
Okay, yeah, in that case. I was talking more like bar bands and stuff. We haven't invented rock and roll yet. You're right.
Yeah.
This is before that.
When they go ahead and water down every song to 3 chords, dude, they can handle it.
G, C, and D. You can play anything you want.
Well, not Mozart. I mean, not.
Da, 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 da. I don't even know. All right. So basically, Izzy's with me. You gotta ditch it. He's like, I don't like these music stands and these freaking hats with the big fuzzy feathers on them. It's like marching bands. So Izzy couldn't read music either, right?
And that was probably his biggest problem with it.
When you learn piano in a pool hall,
you didn't learn what that
chromatic scales don't really come up. You want to augment that to
I don't
the fifth?
see any letters on that page paper. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. I don't know music. I don't know anything about reading music.
I used to read music. I could read treble and bass clef music because of years of other violin or saxophone or whatever, and then cello and all that crap. And then I learned percussion music because I did a ton of that. And now I don't remember any of it, and I can play tab on my ukulele.
My daughter she plays violin. She's pretty good at it for a little kid.
Keep it up.
Well, she doesn't have time for it anymore. Honestly, it's just a thing.
Use it or lose it, man. Music
and that's
is a
probably
going to
happen. Yeah, but she did.
Sorry, Michelle.
Don't do that.
How can I say sorry, Michelle, if I don't burp into the mic?
You don't just say hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Super fan, Michelle. All right, are you good? Yeah. No, basically, he doesn't read music. They're all doing music. Your daughter should keep doing music.
And he's mad about it.
Oh, well, he's not mad about it. He just doesn't like it. So what he would do, though, is he'd fake it during the rehearsals, right? And then he'd go home and listen to a record, memorize it, and then go play at the next rehearsal. And he's like, I got it. And then he'd play a little louder or whatever he did.
All right.
At one point, the Top Hatters had 30 members.
Yeah, it's a big band.
Big band.
It's in the name of the style of music.
It's called a big band.
Yeah.
The band splits into two, though.
It's like 2 smaller bands mixed together to make one big band.
This is great because they split into 2 smaller bands. The first half keeps playing dance band music like jazz. They call themselves the Dukes of Swing. And the other half, led by Izzy, calls themselves the Kings of Rhythm. And they wanted to play like blues and boogie-woogie.
Boogie-woogie.
Oogie,
Can you take 2 small bands and put them together and make a big band?
You did, yeah. And
No, they took one big band, took them apart, and made 2 small bands.
I assume it goes one way, it goes the other.
Can you put them in the same bowl?
Would they be? That's like when you mix M&Ms and Skittles. Big bowl. Do that this holiday season, everyone. If you want to have a fun reaction, get some M&Ms and Skittles and put them in the same bowl.
Quite funny. I had some Skittles for the first time in probably 10 years the other day.
Stir them around.
Pretty good. They're sour.
Sour's good, though.
They're sour Skittles.
1950s, this group, the Kings of Rhythm, they'd play regularly live on the radio at WROX in Clarksdale.
I something about that name, Kings of Rhythm. I like it. I like that name.
Rhythm.
Like Kings of Game Shows.
Well, that's a big band, right? They're playing, I don't know, boogie-woogie. That's boogie-woogie. That's all I got.
Yeah, okay. I'll come listen
It's
to
a blues riff in B. Watch me for the changes. Jeez,
Try to keep up.
Try to keep up. They'd also, so they're playing on some radio stations, W Rocks and KFFFA in Helena, Arkansas. Izzy gets a gig as an unofficial roadie for the blues singer Robert Nighthawk.
Oh, yeah, Robert Nighthawk.
Have you actually heard of Robert Nighthawk?
I have not heard of him.
There you go. He got a chance to play backup for Nighthawk. It helped him get experience by playing out.
Playing out. I don't like that term.
There is a difference between your basement and the stage. So, yeah.
Not at most of the stages I've seen you play out at, Brian.
I actually am a gamer. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but yeah, in practice when I'm drunk in the basement, dicking around with the guys, I'm not the greatest. But
Dick
on
around
stage,
with a lot of guys, do you, Brian?
Only in the basement.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, Brian.
All right. Jeez.
Jeez.
All right, we got a quote from Izzy. Quote, we played juke joints. We'd start playing at 8 p.m. and wouldn't get off till 8 a.m. No intermission, no breaks. If you had to go to the restroom, well, that's how I learned to play drums and guitar. When one had to go, someone had to take his place.
Oh, that's neat. I like that idea. Like the rotating...
Tag! You're in, like pro wrestling, like tag your tag team partner. I don't play the bass. Yeah, G, C, and D. Boom, 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 boom.
Don't worry, it's a bass player. It's not that important. Just go ahead.
No
fake
one's
it.
listening to you any. No, I'm kidding. I love bass players. I learned to play the drums so I could listen to bass more close up.
Drummers like bass players because it's the only member of the group that makes them look good.
Wow. Geddy Lee's going to Canadian backhand you.
Yeah, bring him and Les Claypool. Let's go.
March 1951, as Izzy brings his band to record the song Rocket 88.
Rocket 88.
No, never heard of it?
I probably have. These old songs, you've maybe heard them.
Here's the thing. Izzy plays piano. His regular singer signed a solo contract, so he split, leaving the sax player for the Rhythm Kings, this guy, Jackie Brenston, to sing lead. So it got released as Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats instead of Ike Turner and his Kings of Rhythm featuring Jackie Brenston. Why is this a big deal?
Now there's beef.
Exactly.
I feel beef coming in.
The intro part of Rocket 88, which is largely classified as the first rock and roll song in history, is also the piano parts later used note for note in Little Richard's Good Golly Miss Molly.
Okay.
Good Golly Miss Molly.
Yeah.
Sure like that was Ike Turner, man. The single released in April 1951 hit #1 on Billboard's R&B chart, spends 5 weeks at the top.
Rocket 88.
Rocket 88. It sold 500,000 copies. It's widely considered the first rock and roll song ever recorded. Izzy and the band were paid $20 each. It's about $193 nowadays for the record.
So he's credited with making rock and roll the first time.
Yep.
And it was because of him on the piano?
Well, he wrote the whole song, piano, guitar, and all that. But yes,
Okay.
he played the piano, which
But
then
the
Little
name
Richard
of the band
copied.
did not have his name in it.
No, they released it as the other guy.
Okay, I got you.
Jackie
But
Brenston and his
legitimately,
Delta Kid.
what you're saying
So-
is legitimately there are people, a large group of
music historians
people
and insiders
that
and
are better than us that
Yes.
say that
Yes.
is the first
Yes,
rock and roll song.
If you-
and there's no doubt that Ike Turner was the one that wrote it
correct.
and played on it. Okay.
Correct. If you would like to hear the first rock and roll song, it is called Rocket 88.
Can we hear it now?
No,
Why?
because it's not old enough yet.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I looked.
It-
It's not. I tried.
okay.
So, but it's called Rocket 88. You can look it up as Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats, or Ike Turner and the Kings of Rhythm, featuring Jackie Brenston. Both are out there. But that is the first rock and roll song
Can you just
ever
look up
recorded.
Rocket 88?
You can, but make sure they redo it a couple times because that's the music industry back in the day.
Okay, there's been a lot of
yeah,
people
make sure you get
put
Jackie or Ike.
their hands on it. Okay.
Yeah. The success of Rocket 88 causes tension and ego clashes. Disappointed it didn't create more opportunity for him, Izzy disbands the Kings of Rhythm for a couple of years. He's like, I'm supposed to be famous, but stupid Jackie took all my
He's
fame.
only 13.
He's a little more than that now.
Okay.
1951, he was born in
20-something.
what?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Izzy, with a little bit of reputation now, becomes a session musician. We've described that. These are people who are in the music industry who like, you need a good guitar player? I know a guy.
Yeah, he can handle himself in front of a mic.
Exactly.
Do what he needs to do.
Worker. Right.
Yeah.
He's a production assistant. He's a freelance guy. He's also doing talent scouting for some record companies and stuff.
He's in the biz.
Right.
Very much so.
This is why you will find out that Ike Turner is probably the most linked guy to any other show we've ever had, and we'll get all back to it and stuff. But
He was a big into outlaw country, was he, Brian? Because we did a lot of stuff on
it
outlaw country.
actually comes up, and we will get there.
Okay.
Izzy
All right.
discovers B.B. King. He
Oh,
gets
yeah.
inside to Meteor Records. B.B. King has backed that story ever. Always.
So he discovered B.B. King.
Yep.
Do you know B.B. King's guitar's name?
Elizabeth?
No, that was Jake the Snake Roberts' girlfriend's name.
I'm coming for you, Elizabeth.
All right, Lucille.
Lucille, damn it.
I
that's
should have
nice.
made that. We should have played the dum bum bum
You
bum
should
bum.
have told me quiz. Quiz time.
Quiz.
All
Quiz time
right.
for Brian.
Well, yeah, okay. So he's got Lucille and B.B. King. He gets them signed to Meteor Records. Izzy also goes out and gets Howlin' Wolf, gets him signed to Sun Records.
We've talked about him.
He meets Elvis, who was a truck driver at the time.
We talked about that.
Correct. Quote from Izzy Ike Turner on Elvis. Quote, he was just a white boy who would come over to the black clubs. He would come in and stand behind the piano and watch me play. I never knew he was no musician.
I never knew he was no musician.
End quote. Izzy meets Elvis again one time at the International Hotel in Las Vegas. A few years later, Elvis comes up to him, taps him on the shoulder, and goes, "Hey, you remember me?"
No.
That's hilarious. That would have been funny had he done that, especially being
Hey,
Elvis.
give me a drink.
I'm sorry, I don't. You're the kid who used to watch me play piano. You owe me a bunch of money for lessons. Unaware of songwriter royalties, Izzy wrote an estimated 78 hits for Meteor/Modern Records for artists like Bobby Bland, The Prisonaires, and Little Milton.
Little Milton.
I think we talked about Little Milton before too.
Little Milton. What? That rings a... Yeah,
It does,
I don't
right?
remember. Yeah,
Well, we'll get back to The Prisonaires too, because that's a group of prisoners who started like a doo-wop group. So they're coming. They're in 2020. Look for that. I mean, not that it's 2000. It's not 9. Anyway, you're supposed to do the thing where you're supposed to go, it's not 2019.
What? You're not telling me future people, are you?
You'll never know. You'll never guess The Prisonaires.
Well, I probably won't get... No, not even if you told me.
Exactly.
And if they did, you'd know something's up.
Figured it was a safe bet.
Okay.
1954, while visiting his sister in St. Louis, Missouri, Izzy goes clubbing, right? The owner recognizes him, asks him if you want to play St. Louis? And so he reforms the Kings of Rhythm, and they go and play St. Louis.
What do you mean play St. Louis? Just like the city of? The
Well,
bunch
he's
of
got
bars?
this club, right. This one club owner's like, you want to play here? And he's like, well, yeah, I do want to play here. So Izzy insists the band come together and live in a big house all together. So there's early morning rehearsals, and there's rules.
And they put them in trash cans and beat on the trash cans.
At the time, Izzy was a teetotaler, right? So no drugs, no alcohol for anybody in the band. It's like, we're not doing it.
Except for me.
They'll be fines. Why is it every cult leader gets to sleep with everybody else's wife? What's with that?
I saw some of those Branch Davidians, dude. I wouldn't want to do that.
If you break the rules, you're out of the band. Izzy will fire you. So what he would do, too, is he would find musicians who played the wrong note or physically assault band members.
That's fine.
This is not the note you're supposed to play. Anyway, I do it because I love you and I want the band to be the best. Foreshadowing. He controlled everything down to the stage outfits that everybody was supposed to wear.
He sounds like he's starting to turn into a control freak. But you know
Maybe.
what? Hold on. You know, he has been doing this now for a while. You said talent scout, writing music, was performing music.
Yeah.
He's been in it since he was 13.
Yep.
So maybe when a dude like this starts telling you what to do, you motherfucking shut up and listen. Right? I mean...
Well, right. Here's the thing, though. He thought he had to be this polished and this precise and poised because their main competition was Sir John's Trio featuring
Elton John.
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So that, like, it's like, dude, you and Chuck Berry are vying for the father of rock and roll.
Didn't you say Chuck Berry was the one that had the beginning of his...
That was Little Richard.
Oh, I thought Little Richard said he was the grandfather.
Uh-huh.
So there's a bunch of them out there.
Well, it's not, but they're all at this time. It's all because all three of them were trying to do it, but technically Ike, I guess Rocket 88, it's got a sign and date on it. He did it.
All right.
So, all right. So that's why he's pushing these guys so hard. He's like, dude, it's Chuck Berry. I mean, not that everybody knew who Chuck Berry. We'll get there.
He knew that Chuck Berry was going to be
Right.
good, big, and they're
Right.
trying to invent a new genre of music.
1956, Izzy helps Buddy Guy record his second album, and he plays guitar on it too. So,
Hey, Buddy Guy's in Chicago. I don't know if it's still there. That was a great bar to go hang out at. There was a bar down around the corner of this hotel we stayed at a lot in Chicago. It was called Buddy Guy's. I mean, Buddy Guy would show up every once in a while.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't know who he was.
Well, not then.
I mean, I didn't really know who he is now.
Sorry, Michelle.
No more.
What?
You're going to get uncarbonated beers from now on.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it does. But at Buddy Guy's, someone could just kind of walk in that you didn't know and maybe go play. It was a very kind of a low-lit dive bar.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, though.
Huh.
So that one, and then there was another one called the Kingston Mines. That was North Chicago.
Sounds like a ride in Orlando, the Kingston
Yeah,
Mines.
yeah. I agree. But the Kingston Mines was fun because it was all rhythm and blues. It was all blues bars.
Cool.
And they had kind of like two sides to this Kingston Mines. Picture basically two long bars put together. They've had some doors in between. And then like a kitchen, you go up this window and order like some food, whatever. You had to come up back to the window to get it. No wait, they had waitresses for drinks. So they'd have a band going on in one side, going rocking and rolling, and we're sitting there listening to the band, and all of a sudden everybody's like kind of leaving. Like, what the hell? They're all going to the other side because they know the next band's getting set up in there. So they would just have bands come in and had 2 rooms, and they just
shuffle back and forth,
bounce back and forth.
Yeah,
and that sounds terrible, right? But guess what this does? Gets you up off your feet, gets you moving, gets you kind of talking to some people that you've never, seen before. It was fun. It really made for nice, fun atmosphere. I'm 99% sure that was a place called Kingston Mines. I bet you it's still there today. Buddy guys, I don't know.
If you're familiar with either of those, let us know on the social media.
We'll send you a sticker.
Super curious.
Because I don't think Buddy Guy can't be still alive.
Well,
maybe.
Speaking of going to bars, 1957, the Bolic sisters, Anne and Aline, Alline, Elaine.
Hello, Elaine.
They go to this Club Manhattan in St. Louis, right? They go to see the Kings of Rhythm.
I've heard of them.
After seeing the band, Anne asks if she can sing with them. She's like, oh my God, you guys are great. So during intermission, she goes and sings this song, You Know I Love You, by B.B. King. And Izzy sees it and he's impressed. He invites her to join the band. So
just singing between sets.
Yep.
All right. Join the band for the night or forever and evers?
We'll get there. She gets a stage name, Little Ann.
Little Ann. All right.
Little Ann. 1959, Izzy's charged with interstate transportation of forged checks and conspiracy.
What? Oh, all right.
Yeah, basically here, May 19th, 1960, he gets arrested in St. Louis, and he goes to trial because there are these people passing these bad checks, and, basically, the first jury, they failed to reach a verdict because the evidence is kind of sketchy. It's like there's a bad check ring going around, and Ike Turner's name is brought up. And so he's like, yeah, I know the girl, but I mean, I don't know the girl. I didn't know her.
Oh, she was writing bad?
No, nobody we've mentioned so far. This is a third person out in the world who's just like...
I feel like you're trying to slow walk me to something.
Well, Brian. No, not really. There's a retrial, and he's found not guilty, basically. It's like, he has connections to some shady people, but he's not doing anything shady yet. Let's just keep it that way.
Me too.
Are you looking at me? So... there's a bunch of deep FBI. I went through a bunch of FBI files on the whole thing. It's all public record. Somebody did a FOIA thing, and so I'm looking through, and it's like, Ike Turner. And he's like, yeah, I knew her, but no, I didn't do any bad checks.
She was just the singer.
Oh, it just keeps going on. We'll get there. March 1960, Izzy uses Little Ann to lay down a track for another musician, this guy, Art Lassiter, right? Art never shows up to this recording session. So he's like, I got the band here. I got the songs. We got the tape time. I got no singer. So he puts Little Ann in there. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to send these demos to New York City to Sue Records. And people are like, it's good enough. You should do it. This girl, because he doesn't know this girl, Little Ann. He's like you said, she came up to him at a bar and was like, I sang one song, and he's like, yeah, I let her in the band. I think she's good, but man, is it just me? Am I being honest with myself that she's actually this good? People are like, she's good. She's, you're good.
Yeah, she's good. Look at that rack. She's got to sing well.
No, dude, her voice. I'm telling you. So basically,
I know she's got big boobs. Look at that voice.
He gets a letter back. Rolling. He gets a letter back from New York City. Sue Records offers $20,000 advance for a song and suggests Izzy make this girl, this Little Ann, the star of a show. It's
okay,
like, man, you guys are doing good. This girl's good enough. You should put her up front. So Izzy renamed Little Ann Tina because it rhymed with Sheena, and he was inspired by Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and Noyoka, the Jungle Girl. So he's like, he created this stage persona, Tina Turner.
So her name's Ann.
Ann.
Ann something?
Oh, Ann. Oh, God, you make me go back. Ann Bolic.
Bolic. All right.
No, her name is Tina Turner now.
Well, did they get married?
We'll get there.
Well, you said they gave her the name. They weren't married at that time.
Look, man. He created the stage. He's a marketing guy. It's like Kiss, all right?
Yeah.
It's like they're not really the spaceman and Star Child and all that. They're just like the real people. And he's like, these are the stage personas when we go out there, and this is who we are. All right. And he trademarks it too because if she leaves, he could just replace her. So it's not necessarily her. He's creating this.
That's a neat idea. That's a neat concept. I'm actually sincere with that. It's a
well,
neat
it goes
concept.
back to the Axl Rose thing. It's like in Guns N' Roses. It's like, yeah, no, I am Guns N' Roses.
You're replaceable. You're just the singer.
Exactly. Now you get where that comes from.
Now I finally get the joke.
Yes.
She was
So
just the singer.
He trademarks it. Or you know what? We're gonna leave it right there for a break for a minute, and yeah.
We're leaving it right on the Tina Turner
Right,
bubble here.
We've created Tina Turner right here, and now it's about to take off with a little different dynamic. So
Okay.
go take a break, and we'll be right back. What you call this? Signs? What was this? Levels? What is this?
It's levels, Jerry. No, it was Signs by a band. It was on a guitar rock thing. Garage band.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
And we're back.
So at break, Brian had to ask me how to hide venison meat in his wife's food. He's like,
That's it, basically.
dude, come over here and look at this. Like, tell me what
do I do with this?
Some buddies gave me some venison, some venison steaks. And
I
stuff.
didn't get a deer this year. That's for
What do
sure.
you recommend? And I said, just cook them on the grill, thaw them out, put a little Lowry seasoning, salt, and rock and roll.
I feel like people wrap them in bacon and put them in poppers and weird things like that. I don't know.
You can do. I don't like wasting bacon on anything. Bacon is standalone food in my world.
It's too lean to just cook raw. It's gonna be so. There's no.
Don't
fat.
overcook it. Don't overcook it on the grill. Do not overcook it. But I said make Swiss steak with it. Boom. Everybody eat that.
Everybody eat that.
Everybody eat it.
I got no segue from that because we're back into Ike Turner, who we've been calling Izzy. He's basically invented rock and roll, but didn't get credit for it. So.
Maybe at the point where he starts beating his wife, she could take a steak and put it on her eye. Isn't that a thing? You put a piece of steak on your face?
Yeah, it's just because it's cold and conforms to your face, but let's not get there yet. Let's not get the cart before the horse here, buddy. So right now, we're dealing with Ike Turner and Izzy, who doesn't do drugs and he doesn't drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said he was introduced to cocaine by two very famous people he'd been working with in Las Vegas.
Who?
Well, first of all, it's Elvis, obviously, because he met Elvis.
It was Elvis?
Yep.
I didn't think was Elvis a cokey?
Well,
maybe a little bit. He did a lot of.
He
he put a lot of different things in his body.
Yep, it was Elvis and Redd Foxx.
Redd Foxx.
Redd Foxx introduces Ike Turner to cocaine.
There's no doubt in my mind that dude was doing some cocaine back in the day.
Oh, dude, if you're in the LA scene out in the hotels doing your shows, like 5-6 shows a night and all that stuff.
Well, and the comedians, yeah.
Oh my God, how would you not be? You'd have to have uppers and stuff. You'd have to.
So I have this thing in the back of my mind. I know Brian does too. I know this.
Oh God.
That we could do comedy on stage.
Yeah, that's essentially why we're here.
No,
I'm too chicken shit to do stand up on my own.
Oh, I would have no problem getting up on stage, and I bet I could even make it funny. But there's no way.
Jokes. I got
there's
jokes.
no way that I could live that lifestyle.
No.
I got a wife. I got kids.
Yeah.
And I have no boundaries when it comes to a couple things. If I start, I'd have all the problems with all the drugs. But then think about this.
Immediately off the rails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but think about this. How many shows are you doing a night a lot of times if you're a comedian?
Rogan says he goes out about 3-4 times on a Wednesday. Just hits a couple different, like this spot 15, this spot 10, this spot half hour.
And you're telling the same sort of set. You're really going to be able to
polished.
Perfect. It's going to be the exact same. It's going to sound the same.
Yeah, man.
You know when to pause for the laughter from the audience. You're going to get real good at doing your little deal.
Yeah.
Your routine.
Yep. Well, it's the same thing when you're playing music, though.
Boring.
That's what happens in music. Is you're like, I'm playing rocking in the free world again. Oh God. Keep on rocking in the free world.
And I get it. You're making money. You're doing well.
Free bar tab.
But it's not
people are looking at you and going, yeah.
It's not some glamorous thing.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do. And you couldn't live at home if you didn't live in, like, say, New York or L.A.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
You'd
if
have
you
to
lived,
tour. You'd have to travel.
how many comedy bars are there in New York? Probably
A
A
ton.
billion
Right.
or 2 billion, maybe.
You'd have to
I mean,
do,
all the boroughs.
you'd have to do a lot of work.
I mean, if you want to extend that all the way up to like White Lake or something. Is it
I'm
White
too
Lake?
scared to go around here because we have the University of Michigan, which pulls in, honestly, a lot of East Coasters, and you have to submit your 2-minute set to the booker before he'll even let you go up for open mic night because they have so many people. Like, the 30,000 kids come from out of state. It's right there, sort of by the college district.
Oh, right.
And so
I'm
it's
not.
like, oh, I don't want to, I want to try, but I don't want to try.
I think maybe my point is I'd be scared to be successful.
Yeah. If you've listened to the show before, I've made reference to almost making it as a professional musician back
I got
in my
news for
20s.
you, Ryan. You didn't.
That would have been bad. I would have a bunch of shitty ass tattoos I don't want, drug habit.
I gotta
a
mark
bunch of-
this
oh,
time down
terrible.
because I gotta like tell Matt. Matt, listen. This is a point in this.
Mark it.
This is a point in the podcast where Brian alludes that he made it big in the music industry.
I had a swing. No, I didn't say I made it big. I said I had a swing at it, which is all I had.
a swing.
Haven't you ever pulled the lever on a slot machine and be like, oh, almost $1 million? Didn't though.
I just should have put a quarter in.
It's a good feeling.
All right.
Anyway.
Back
Well,
to Bobby
speaking of
Brown
good
here.
feelings-
Bobby Brown.
Speaking-
I mean Ike Turner.
Speaking of good feelings, he gets some cocaine, right, that we're talking about from
Bobby Brown.
Redd Foxx and Elvis.
All right.
So he gets that, and he takes it home.
He takes it home.
He takes it, and he tries it out while he's playing the piano and writing songs. And he
And-
said he liked it because it reduced the need for sleep, and that allows him to write more music.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
When you're on cocaine,
That's 100% correct.
you don't have to sleep as much. So I can write more songs.
Yeah.
I feel like writing a song right now.
I'm gonna write so many songs.
Boogie woogie doogie doo 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 doo. July 1960. The single "A Fool in Love" was released by Ike and Tina Turner.
Okay.
It becomes a national hit, selling millions of copies.
Well, now they're not married at this point.
I don't think they are. I feel like I mentioned when they get married. I might not. I don't know. Crime and Music. I wrote this a while ago. It happens. We'll get there.
All right. Look it up if you want to know. Write the show, please.
If you know when Ike and Tina Turner got married, feel free to write the show.
Get on it.
It became a national hit. They sold millions of copies. It peaks at number 2 on Billboard R&B and number 27 on the Hot 100, and is inducted and introduced Tina Turner to the world.
Okay.
Izzy added a girl group to his mix. He called them the Ikeettes. They actually did have their own hit called "I'm Blue" and "Peaches and Cream." And "I'm Blue" is Billboard's number 63 best all-girl group song ever, basically.
Number 63
Number
ever.
63 ever.
Okay.
So you got the Ikeettes plus the King's Rhythm. You put that all together, and that equals the Ike and Tina Review.
They're just traveling with this whole entire posse.
Oh, dude, they got a show with a show and another show.
Okay.
They're entertainers. Impressed by their performance on the film The Big TNT Show, Phil Spector contacts Izzy to produce Tina Turner.
Okay, so we're getting another creepy dude in here.
You got creeps keep coming.
Yeah.
That poor girl didn't have a
I know,
shot.
right?
Like now,
She goes back and just keeps
Oh.
thinking of that day she went between sets and pulled on Ike's coattail and Mr. Turner, Mr. Turner, would you listen to me sing? And she just laid it down and nailed it.
Yep.
And
nailed
then
it.
and then
Oh.
and then this happened. Go ahead, Brett.
Yep. Well, anyway, 1966, they record "River Deep, Mountain High." It was not well received. That's a different song.
Ain't that's a lot of same words in it.
It was not well received in the U.S. Other people overseas, they liked it more.
Ain't no valley low enough.
That's when Phil backed away from
Me
music producing.
listen to
Remember,
you,
if you
girl.
listen to the Phil Spector episode, he recludes to his Malibu mansion, as they all do.
Hey, by the way, I think was it Phil Spector episode?
Little Milton.
No, I think that's the one that needs to get remastered. The mostest.
This is the time you choose to tell me.
I keep thinking about
Hey,
it.
you know, audio.
No, you asked me go
glitches.
listen to some of our old episodes, and we're gonna have an engineer come through and polish them up. That one.
I was expecting a text, but
This is as
sure.
good as you get, man.
All right.
Hey, we got to let our audience get in on some of the back. Pull the curtain back on us. Other than everybody, we're good dudes.
Okay.
All right.
He said humbly.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And,
Basically,
pulling the curtain back a little bit more.
Okay.
I know this is going to cause a lot of controversy. I get it.
Oh, God.
But I feel like we owe our audience a certain level of truth. Here is my truth.
It's a true crime podcast.
Here's my truth.
Yes.
Unless it's exactly and tastes exactly like the stuff that you can buy for $0.25 in the little package, unless it's exactly like that, I don't like ramen. Or I said it. I don't know what the hell you got in that bowl. Cook my egg all the way. I don't want that. No, I want the noodles and that little package. You got to rip it open. I don't know what's in that. It's magic dust. That might be cocaine. That might be crack. I don't know.
We'll get there.
All right. There we go. You're welcome.
But
You're welcome.
Do you drain the water in your ramen or no?
Do you want to get a fight? Do you want to fight about that? No, you don't drain the ramen in your water.
Oh my God! You got to drain the water from your ramen. What are you doing?
That's the broth.
I'm not trying to make noodle soup here. I'm making noodles with flavor in them, man. You drain the noodle. You drain the water in your macaroni, your macaroni and cheese, Kraft dinner.
I don't drain it well.
Well, okay.
I don't drain it well. I drain it a little. I just kind of do this, like done, good. Need some of that noodle water in there with it.
I love the visuals on a podcast.
I said, that's where that came from. Me draining noodle water. I go,
all right. Well, this is not.
Now every time I say, I'm going to think of me draining noodle water.
Not gold or silver content we got going on here. But third place, which is what River Deep Mountain High got. They took number 3 in the UK. So
that's pretty good.
Ike and Tina Review are popular. So good so that Mick Jagger called and asked Ike and Tina Review to open for the Rolling Stones on their British tour.
Oh, really?
Really?
Wow.
I'm telling you. Ike
so
is
he goes ahead and he invents rock and roll.
Yep.
The Stones
master it.
Do the Stones.
Right.
And now he's opening for them.
Now he's opening for the Stones.
I invented this shit.
Sorry, Michelle. 1969. They released the couple of records. One, Out of Season, and then the other one, The Hunter.
The
Hey,
Hunter.
That kind of falls into the theme of hunting now, because Out of Season, don't shoot that. Out of Season and The Hunter.
They do sort of yin-yang together. Out of
bit.
Season and The Hunter.
Yeah. In the fall, they opened for the Rolling Stones on their U.S. tour.
Okay, so they're now with the Stones.
Pretty much. They're their opening band, Tina and Ike Review.
All right.
Izzy has heavy coke addiction going.
Well, he can write some songs.
Buying in large quantities and sharing it with friends.
Well, that's the only way to keep the prices down, Brian.
He estimates he spent approximately $11 million on cocaine over the years.
Guess you didn't keep the prices too far down.
Well, good thing you invented rock and roll and people liked it. His cocaine addiction is so bad.
How bad is it?
I had a really great joke about cocaine, but I can't remember it. So I'm really upset. I had it all lined up.
That took a long trip.
I couldn't read between the lines.
Hey.
I've never done cocaine. But I do love the way it smells.
Are we good?
Yeah! Izzy's coke addiction causes a hole through his septum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the piercing, like the bull ring thing. He can put a handkerchief up and like floss his nasal passage.
That really snowballed into a problem.
It hurt badly. So to relieve the pain, he
more cocaine.
used more cocaine. That's correct. And soon he starts freebasing cocaine.
He invented crack. He's not only the inventor of rock and roll.
Soon he starts freebasing, a.k.a. smoking cocaine in the form of crack.
Nailed it
for sure. January 1970, the Ike and Tina Review perform on the Ed Sullivan Show. Really big show. 1971, they release Proud Mary.
That was a big one.
That's their biggest hit. It reaches number 4 Billboard Hot 100, number 5 on the R&B, sold 1 million copies, won a Grammy for Best R&B Vocal Performance by a Group.
And so the whole time, I don't know if they're married or not at this point.
They're married now.
Whatever, okay.
Yeah, they're married.
But he's still in his mind thinking, dude, if it all goes wrong with this bitch,
I can totally get somebody else.
But I can just plug and play, man. Just plug and play. She's really not even that big part of the show.
Just the singer.
Just because. Okay, the rest of it. We're gonna have a tangent here.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right.
My favorite part's the very end. Okay.
Most of our audience's favorite part of the show is.
No, people like our show. Stop saying that. Self-deprecating is fine, but We produce a quality product.
Oh my God, it's finally over.
I spend a lot. Why would you listen?
Well, no, I think a lot of our audience listens on the car ride home, and they only have to drive an hour, so they have to sit in the driveway for 20 minutes.
Right.
My wife talks on the phone like that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm like, where is she? She's supposed to be home at 4:30. 5:15, she walks in the door. I'm like, oh, late night at work? No, I've been in the driveway for 45 minutes on the phone.
Talking on the phone.
All right.
This is completely unrelated to that. 1973, they released Nutbush City Limits,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one too.
a song written by Tina about her hometown, Nutbush, Tennessee.
No, is that why did I Nutbush was in Illinois?
I did a lot of research.
No, I believe you.
Nutbush,
No.
Tennessee.
If you would have asked me, I would have instantly said Illinois.
And whatever her name, Little Ann's born there. 1974, the Turners receive the Golden European Award, the first ever for selling more than 1 million copies of Nutbush City Limits in Europe.
So they're the first one to sell 1 million copies of that album or any album?
Any.
First one ever.
Ever.
Nobody's ever sold 1 million of anything in Europe before.
Nope. Not before Nutbush City Limits.
So they had to quickly come up with an award. Shit.
Crikey, the Americans. Oh, wait, those are Australians.
Ike turned on that fucking cunt. Just
Right,
sold
then.
over 1 million albums. We're both pretty bad out.
This is so bad. Well, we haven't done a British guy in a while. It's really, God. We'll get to it, too, because we have some criticism on our Pete Doherty episode.
Hey, I watched a thing on MI6
Oh, right.
on the PBS last night.
And
It was pretty cool.
Yeah?
All right.
There you go.
No need to talk about it.
Guess not. July 1st, 1976. Spirit of 76.
That's when we were born.
There you go.
That's when I was born.
You were born on July 1st?
Well, I mean, in 76.
Oh, there you go. The Turners are traveling to L.A., or from L.A. to Dallas, Texas, for a gig, right?
Yeah.
So in a couple days, they're going to sign a big deal. There's a record deal, like $150,000 deal for 5 years. Nowadays, that's like $675,000 deal.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
Right. They get into a fight on the way to the
Ike
hotel.
and Tina did?
Ike and Tina get into a fight on the way to the hotel.
And this
right?
is in 76?
1976. yeah.
Okay.
So Tina flees shortly after arriving.
She had what?
Tina flees shortly after arriving.
Oh,
the
there's
meeting.
a bunch of bed bugs.
She's like,
in
I'm outta here.
Genesee County being found at some schools.
That's why we moved away.
Okay. Oh.
Izzy claims that Tina initiated the conflict by purposefully irritating him so that she would have reason to break up with him before they signed the new contract.
Hold on. Give me all that again. Who shot who and the what now?
Izzy, Ike Turner,
Okay.
claims that Tina
All right.
initiated a conflict between them
Okay.
on purpose
Okay.
just to irritate him
Yeah.
so that she would have reason to break up with him before they signed the new contract.
So she had her reason to break up was that he was irritated?
yes.
All right. I'm
So
not
he's like,
saying it's right to hit a woman,
that's so bad.
but there are reasons to do it.
So,
Never right, but there are reasons.
well, you know, if I don't
Now
know.
she's trying to piss you off.
She's purposely pissing me off. Well, that's what his perspective was. She's
don't-
purposefully pissing him off before.
Don't hit a woman.
No, never.
But when they ask you why, I'm sure you can give a lot of reasons, and that's one of them.
I'm sure people have said that. She pissed me off right before we go to this business
And
meeting,
she wanted
so she
to.
could break up with me before she signed the record deal without me, presumably. I mean, he didn't say that, but
She's just the singer.
I write this. I invented rock and roll. 1977, Izzy and Tina file for divorce.
Okay, they were married.
There you go. He struggles to find success as a solo artist. He's got a cocaine problem.
As she just soars.
He's got problems with the cops. She's taken off on huge problems.
She's got problems?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. His problem with her is that she's very successful.
Yeah.
People
Well,
like her.
and honestly, she was singing a lot of the songs he probably wrote.
Probably.
Yeah.
1980, I said he's got problems with the cops. A SWAT team raids Izzy's recording studio, Bolic Studios. He made a nice studio, like state-of-the-art.
And named it after her last name?
Her name was Bolic, but he called it Bolic. So there's a little difference. But yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't put it together.
Dun,
Maybe.
dun, 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 dun.
It's not the same.
Dun, dun, dun,
No,
dun, dun, dun.
I am Vanilla Ice. Mine goes dun 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 dun
Right.
dun. Dun.
He named the studio after his
Right.
wife's last real name.
Sure.
Because she was just the singer.
But the SWAT team busts in the door. They find 7 grams of cocaine,
That's nothing.
Izzy's squatting over the toilet with a bunch of empty bags and 7 grams that he didn't flush yet, and a live hand grenade.
Oh, wow.
Also, typically, there's a lot of disreputable characters that hung around the studios. So,
Well, I don't think a hand grenade is ever a way to solve your problem in a studio.
so Izzy had a 357 Magnum sitting on the board
That's
for
better.
protection.
That's better.
So he's got a hand grenade and a handgun.
He invented having guns in that studio. Phil Spector, he was just a producer.
That's true. That's probably where Spector got the idea from. Talking to the Ramones, you sit on and you play. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you dragging? Are you rushing? You don't get that reference at all.
I think there was a movie with some guy going off on some college student.
There you go.
All right.
Get it, whiplash. 2 weapon charges were dismissed. Izzy gets 30 days in L.A. County Jail and 3 years probation.
That's how much.
Well, you had a hand grenade, dude.
I know. You had some hardcore artillery.
You're not supposed to have that in the city, I don't think.
Oh.
January 20th, 1981. Izzy, he's at the apartment studio behind. Izzy's at the apartment behind the studio, right? Like they got a building and a complex. He's at the apartment behind there. He hears all these sirens going off. And he's like, "What is that?" And so he goes outside.
Flushing cocaine again?
He goes outside and he notices Bolic Studios is on fire.
Oh.
Now, investigators say the fire was clearly a case of arson. Someone had poured a flammable liquid all along the hallway, right outside of like Izzy's office and stuff like that. And so because the studio was a maze of rooms, the fire department could only stand there and watch it burn down for 18 hours.
So, and the whole time, Izzy's just going, I don't know.
I was at my apartment.
I have some insurance papers here, though. Sweet. Excuse me. I'd like to get by now.
I am the owner with a full coverage insurance.
So hold on, dude. Is there more to that story?
When mayhem happens.
Did he?
Nope, that's it.
He burnt that shit down.
You didn't? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. So, April 1981, Izzy's arrested for shooting a 49-year-old newspaper delivery man.
Who's delivering newspapers at 49?
Hey,
seriously.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. Some people, they like the newsies.
Look at that. My Siri lit up because of something we just said.
Not talking to you, Siri. It's claimed the man assaulted Izzy's wife and then kicked his dog. So.
Oh, you can't kick a dog. So Izzy's remarried?
Izzy said he gets married like 4 times. I left them out of it because
they're not even singers.
He beats his wife, so I don't want to. Izzy said he only fired 1 shot to scare the fella. He injured himself. That guy injured himself hopping over the fence to get away. And so Izzy was found not guilty of assault.
Hold on, he did what? He shot the dude? And then...
Well, no, the guy jumped the fence trying to get away after the shot, and that's how he hurt his leg. He didn't have like a bullet in his leg.
Oh, he didn't? Okay. So. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's not guilty. Izzy's not guilty in that particular case. But he will shoot at you, just to let you know.
Shoot in your general vicinity.
Basically. June 1985, Izzy's arrested and charged with conspiracy to sell $16,000 worth of cocaine, possession and maintaining of a residence for selling cocaine and or using controlled substances.
I feel like he was more of the end user there.
Police took $1,000 worth of crack cocaine from his North Hollywood apartment. Izzy was out on $5,000 bond.
I guess the music business wasn't really cracking along for him.
Oh. 1986, Izzy is arrested for possession of cocaine and carrying a concealed handgun and traffic violations. He was released on bail.
Oh, bail. So this is the toilet. This is a death spiral here, isn't it?
The swirl.
And
you're just watching him go down.
And he got out on bail.
January 1987, Izzy is arrested for trying to sell 10 ounces of cocaine.
That's a lot of coke.
To an undercover cop.
Why would you sell it to a cop? They're just going to bust you.
Izzy pleads not guilty.
Is he going to jail yet?
Izzy is arrested in May 1989. Izzy's arrested in West Hollywood, California. He's convicted of a DUI and cocaine intoxication.
The dude's, yeah, he that day he got in a fight with Annabelle. What was her?
Little Ann.
Little Ann. He got in a fight at the hotel. And Yeah, I feel like we're not going to have a comeback on this one.
He is sentenced. We'll get there.
All right.
He's sentenced to 4 years in California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo, California.
A colony.
Men's Colony.
It doesn't make it sound as bad as prison, does it? Kind of sounds a little.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It does sound a little gay.
A men's colony?
A
I wrote it down.
men's
I'm like, this.
colony.
Yeah, this isn't very progressive. What happens to famous musicians in jail? Oh, warden.
Oh, did he start
Don't
singing
you
his
like-
way out of jail?
Associate Warden Larry Kamen said Izzy was a model inmate. He becomes a trustee working in the prison library. And 1991, Ike and Tina were inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
When he was in jail?
Yep. Tina didn't attend. Izzy didn't attend because he's in jail for the drug conviction. So Phil Spector accepts the honor for the Turners.
I'm glad they got some upstanding individual, some pillar of the community.
Yes. Well, actually, it's at Ike's. Well, we'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. Phil Spector comes back around again. He's September 1991. Izzy is paroled after 18 months for his 4-year sentence.
That's not
warden,
bad.
Warden,
Yeah.
warden, let me out of
Kissing
jail.
ass every day.
Yep. While in prison, he made $13,000 selling cigarettes, candy bars, and coffee to other inmates.
Sounds like he's doing the same thing as he got arrested for.
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't think you could generate an illegal underground business in jail.
I
but-
used to sell now and laters at school.
I was thinking that too. I sold candy at school also, like
Yeah.
Warheads and
Dude.
freaking Tootsie Roll Pops. And
We
stuff
would
like
go
that
get,
out of
I'd
my
get
locker.
cases of candy.
We went to Sam's Club, my mom, and I
No,
would just
not
oh,
Sam's Club.
That's
They
where I
didn't have
went
a Sam's Club back then.
in the '90s for sure. They did.
Well, we weren't. You must have been selling in high school then.
Yeah, I did. That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about. When did
I
you? When,
Like 6th grade.
I don't remember that.
You used to go run down to Centennial Candy
Oh yeah,
and
when
then
you had
run
leave
to the junior high and
playground.
get on the bus.
Yeah.
Like after the bell rang, you had to
Yeah.
be the first one, and you had to bust your ass downtown.
Yep.
Go to Centennial Candy.
Right, the old post office.
Yep, and get one case, like a case the size of a shoebox of now and laters. Pop them in your backpack, and then run twice as
Run
far to the junior
To the
high
up the hill.
to get on your bus. So you can
Yep.
then on the bus, you just walked in on the bus, and then you open shop.
Yep.
Yeah, quarter piece,
Nice.
5 for
dude.
$1.
Nice.
Tripled my money every time.
Yep. Nope. I sold candy out of my locker in high school. Beats having a job. Prison cured Izzy of his cocaine addiction, and he remains clear.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, good for him.
1993, Salt and Peppa sample "I'm Blue" to make "Shoop Shoop Ba Doop Shoop Ba Doop."
Oh, really?
Yeah, that "I'm Blue"
Yeah.
was that Ike Getz song. that
Okay.
He wrote.
So he got paid for that?
Yep. So
Okay.
because it goes to number 4 on the Hot 100, earns Izzy about $500,000 in royalties. He appeared on the song "Love Gravy" by Rick James. There it is. Yeah, he appears on the song "Love Gravy" by Rick James. So we have Rick James in there now.
Well, who was the famous artist that got to share a part of MC Hammer's song? It wasn't it him? What?
La Chic, I think it was.
No, there was some famous artist that got to take and get Grammy credits.
Oh, that was Rick James.
Was it Rick James?
Yeah,
Okay.
I told you this all comes around to every.
Yeah.
If I ever do the SEO on our website properly, it's all going to link to every freaking episode we've ever done. Like, there's at least
Through Ike Turner.
Ike Turner. There's at least 14 links. Man.
He's
It's
the
crazy.
he's the trunk of this tree.
Oh God, they just changed the SEO algorithm.
Does he
too on
somehow
Google.
link up with the Suadero Crocchio? What was his name?
Gesualdo, Carlo Gesualdo. No, but I think we're going to go back and do a historic figure again. It's been a
Okay.
while, so I think we're going to go back and do one of those.
Okay.
So no, okay. So Izzy appears on this song "Love Gravy" with Rick James for a South Park movie, the Chef Aid album. Remember
Okay,
that?
yeah.
Back in
I
South
think
Park
I
days.
think one day I'm gonna watch the South Parks.
Yeah, I think so.
I
too.
think one day I'm gonna go back. I tried to watch. I mean, they came out in like what 90 on the what was called the internet back then.
Yes, I have
They
the
had, like, a
original
Christmas
card.
episode or
Yeah, the
something?
original Christmas card. I have it somewhere on this computer if you want to watch it.
No,
And,
no. I mean, it's out there. You
But
can
it's
watch
great,
it.
yeah.
And then they came out and boom, they were huge, and they're still making them today.
Well, the thing with that show that I think is cool is they can turn out an episode in 2 weeks.
Oh, and they keep
Like-
so topical.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
right?
their
Like
thing.
something
That's
comes out
100%
and
their
boom,
thing.
they're on it. I'm like, oh my God. That was so
Sometimes
fast.
it's got to be less than 2 weeks.
Might be, but I've just seen 2 weeks as their general turner. I mean, yeah.
Well, I think they were also ones that made some special computer program too that could turn them out like that quick.
Mhm.
They did some, basically, they barely need to do any coloring of the.
No, it's all done for you.
Yeah, boom, done.
Just click and
Computers.
point and click.
It's crazy.
Computers. 1997,
Way of the future.
Ike's into the future. He's recording and he's touring with Joe Louis Walker. It's a blues musician and a guitarist and a historian. That encourages Izzy to reform the Kings of Rhythm, though. And he's like, we should go back out and tour. I've just been on tour with this dude. People like blues music. I think we should get back out. So 2001, they headlined the South by Southwest Music Festival.
Oh, that's a big one.
So
is that the one in Montreal? No.
It's South Texas.
Yes.
Yep.
What's the big one in Montreal Blues Festival?
Correct.
Music Festival. Okay.
So no, he gets the Kings of Rhythm back up and going. September 2003, Izzy's interviewed for the Martin Scorsese documentary series The Blues. 2004, helping a friend from a crack cocaine addiction. Izzy has a relapse, does some cocaine again, like crack. And then
Trying to help a guy get off crack. He's doing crack now.
Yeah, he tried.
Let me show you how to. You're doing it wrong.
He ended
man.
up getting this guy out of a crack house, but in going to get the guy in the crack house, he was in a crack house. And I'm like,
I'm here.
I'm done. It's been 20 years. I'm good.
Was it a nice crack house?
I don't know if those words go together. It's an oxymoron.
Can I pre-warm says crack pipe?
2005, Izzy plays piano on the Gorillaz album Demon Days.
Oh, really?
Yep. Unfortunately, he's also diagnosed with emphysema, and now he's got oxygen tank.
That's sad. That's a sad look.
It's not the best,
Wheeling around oxygen.
especially trying to sing and dance.
Yeah, nobody's come to see that South by Southwest concert.
No. 2006, he releases the album Rising with the Blues. That album wins Izzy his first solo Grammy for Best Traditional Blues Album. It literally got a bunch of acclaim. They're like, oh my God, this dude gets the blues. Might beat his wife with a shoe, but gets the blues.
Did he use a shoe?
Well, that way he didn't hurt his hand for playing guitar.
That's smart right there, Brian.
I left it out because I don't like spousal abuse stories.
That's using your head right there. Kids, here's a lesson. You ever
Do
gotta
not learn from Ike Turner.
If you ever gotta get your goon hand out, put a shoe on it first.
Why do you make me do this to you?
And then after you're done beating the crap out of somebody,
said that in interviews.
blame
too.
it on them.
That asshole. He said that in interviews. He was like, well, I hit her because I'd be like, why are you sad, Tina? Why are you sad? She's like, I don't know. He's like, why are you sad? She's like, I don't know.
Maybe it's
He's like,
because
by the
hitting
fifth time,
me with the shoe.
he's like, you not sad no more, are you? And she's like, oh. He's like, I give her a reason, and then she wasn't sad. And it all made sense.
That was my dad's thing.
Like, what?
Why are you crying? I'll give you a reason to cry.
It's right from Ike Turner. So,
Yeah.
God. Anyway, 2006, he gets his crazy blues album. I guess it's really good if you like the blues, like traditional blues. Wins a Grammy. He's scheduled to work with the Black Keys, right? You've heard of the Black Keys?
Yeah, I know who the Black Keys
Right.
are.
He's scheduled to work with them. They send him.
They rip off the White Stripes.
They send him some tracks. I feel like they're different. That's just me.
Jack White claimed it. I
see.
thought there was a thing.
That's funny. Well, we'll look into it. Let's see if there's some crime involved. On December 12th, 2007, at 11:38 a.m.,
There's a specific time of day.
Ike Turner, age 76, was found in his home by his personal assistant, Felina Rasool, and ex-wife, Ann Thomas. Medical examiner said the cause of death was from a cocaine overdose.
Ooh, he had a hot shot.
It sounds like he might have.
So he kind of...
He had cocaine toxicity mixed with emphysema, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease.
Sounds like 2 out of any of those.
His daughter, Mia, was surprised by the findings. She thought the emphysema would have been a bigger factor.
Than the big, huge pile of coke he just sniffed up his face?
That might do it. If you have emphysema and heart disease and hypertension.
Sometimes when your heart's beating 1,000,000 miles an hour and you can't breathe, it's a problem.
If you've got the heart rate of a hummingbird, that might be an issue. You'll write some cool shit, but...
You'll have a lot of time on your hands because you ain't going to go to bed.
Just fly. I think you could. All right, and a quote from Ike Turner himself. I really do love this. I've been waiting the whole episode just for this. Quote from Ike Turner. Everything is a hole. When you're born, 2 holes. There's a hole at the head of your penis, and you come out of a hole. So you come out. You can't. I won't get through it. So you come out, and everything's about holes. When you eat, hole.
There's a hole right there.
Yeah, dude. When you breathe, It's a hole.
It's the same hole as when you eat, though.
I'm crying. Okay. When you see, it's a hole. When you hear, it's a hole. Oh, God. And when you die, where you going? Right back in the hole. If you get too much money, you're going to be in a hole. If you don't have enough, you're definitely going to be in a hole. So to me, the best thing to do is stop trying to stay out of the hole. Get in the hole. Find out what's happening with the hole. And try to control the hole. And then you have the hole because you understand the hole. Oh my God.
Is that honestly a quote? That is a quote from him?
Honestly a quote from
Why isn't that quote like on a t-shirt or something?
Be on a throw pillow. Oh, that's my note. Put that on a throw pillow or a cross stitch.
I got some memeing to do later. I'll be creating some memes. I'll need to find that quote. I'm going to use pieces of that quote because that's worth more than one meme.
Control the hole.
No, I think there needs to be more sitcoms using that. Like Sunny in Philadelphia could do something with that.
Then you can have the hole because you understand the hole.
Get in that hole. Your penis has a hole in it.
You come out of a hole. Your mouth, that's a hole.
Ears,
holes.
Hole.
Your nose, that's a hole. It's all about holes. The worst part is he's not wrong. It's all
Build
about
levels,
holes.
Jerry. Levels.
Oh my God. Oh God. Okay. So, Ike Turner, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Ike Turner.
Oh my God. Yeah, he was a dickhead. I mean, there's no two ways around it.
You're a hole.
Guy's a hole. Yes, summed up. That man was a hole. Everything's about holes. You a hole?
Well, I guess the thing I didn't realize he was that
influential
in mixed in with so
God.
many huge R&B, rock and roll sort of icons.
Me neither, man. I didn't know until I started doing the research and just like rubbing elbow. Oh, I gave him this song. I've discovered this person. I signed that guy. I'm like, come on.
Even the drug use, probably.
I blame Elvis.
No, I think the drug use would have been no big thing. It's not what was the downfall of his career. It was that scuffle with Tina.
Yeah, that pretty much started the slide down when the renegotiation.
Because he didn't only get divorced from her or whatever, and then she went on to become popular. She was definitely the shiny part of that review. Yeah. She was beaten, and that people didn't like that part about that story.
No.
And so he became sort of like a villain, where if he didn't become that villain, I think he still could have gone on and done some stuff. Maybe replaced her.
The thing, too, that happened... sorry, Michelle. He signed away his rights in that movie where Lawrence Fishburne plays him, the Ike and Tina, whatever.
Oh, did he?
He signed it away for like $20,000, and he's like, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. He's like, you can portray me however you want. He's like, I didn't realize I signed that.
Oh, he thought he was going to have some sort of rudder to steer that character.
Yep.
No,
nope.
And so yeah, and with that one little thing, I think he really probably could have stayed in that. The mainstream of music, of that genre of music, because he was at a very popular. He's touring with the Stones.
Yeah,
he's doing big stuff. He
coulda.
Knew everybody.
Yeah, he could have done better.
Oh, and I don't think it was the drugs that kept him down.
Ego. I think his ego got him.
Yeah, I think it was just that one day. He could have switched that day.
It's funny. There's a YouTube video of Tina Turner like fucking with him on camera, and she's just like, ooh, like hugging him, and like he's like, oh, get on me, why are you messing with me?
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you want to be like the guy, but you don't want to play it up for the cameras. You want like the I don't know,
Well, there's Ike Turner. What year did he? When did he die? What was his? What did year?
2007.
2007.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry, all the holes. There's 3 cards of hole quotes.
Can we just hang those up in the
holes,
studio?
Yes.
Seriously, can we put
one.
those? Just get a little placard right here.
I will make a graphic about the hole quote because that is probably the best quote we have ever read.
It's all about holes.
35 episodes. It's the best. Speaking of people talking about episodes, I got some feedback. I toned it down for you. This is a good one. This is about our Pete Doherty episode.
Okay.
Remember Pete Doherty? He's the British rock and roller who always had
Yep.
drugs and the heroin fell
It
out. when he
kept
was in
falling
the
out during like
courtroom.
court dates. Yeah.
Right. Well, on YouTube, we got some comments from Only Underground TV.
Is he your friend?
No.
All right, not my friend.
It's like a
Like
TV station.
All right.
Like a YouTube TV station.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Only Underground TV. Says this podcast would be a lot better if it was more straightforward and you didn't do the annoying ditzy blonde shtick.
Who's doing that part?
Yeah, I was like, what's the one? Not a shtick, and two, I'm a dyed brunette. Well, not dyed. I'm actually just brunette. You're the blonde guy, so I assume it's on you.
I like Dizzy Blondes.
You're ditzy.
I mean,
blonde shtick.
it's kind of my thing.
I appreciate a ditzy
I
blonde.
appreciates it.
We got way too misogynistic in George Jones. I apologize. That was
I think everybody knows that we're.
joking around.
I
so.
hope they do.
I hope so. Yeah, I was like, we're probably two more tolerant progressive people in our old social group.
I don't want to label myself as that. I don't want to have a label.
No labels.
No.
I don't believe in labels. Why you
I
gotta
just
label
believe
everything?
in being good and helping people.
So to Underground TV, what was your name?
Thank you.
Only Underground TV.
Thank
Thanks for reaching out. I appreciate it. Anybody else hit us up on
If I'm the
YouTube,
ditzy, I
Instagram?
hope I'm the ditzy blonde one.
I feel like
Can we
you
get
might be.
clarification on that?
It might be both of us. But
I get it.
I'm a brunette, just to let you know. I have dark hair.
Well, you know what'd be really bad?
What's that?
If we got clarification on it and he says, sorry, guys, I didn't mean to write you. It was a different podcast. Thanks for calling me out.
Oh, no, I don't think that'll happen. I think it's us. I think we're the ditzy blondes, but
The ditzy blonde. All right, cool.
I don't know.
Been described a lot of ways.
There you go. Yeah, right? It actually had me thinking for a couple days. I'm like, is that me or is that who? I'm like, he's the blonde guy. I don't know.
So I used to brew beer.
Didn't we all?
Back in the day. And I got kind of big. I made a lot of it for just a personal sidebar. A lot of it for just personal friends and family use, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I started brewing instead of putting it in a big vessel and that you had to clean every time. I got these special, basically picture a food grade trash bag.
Yeah, Ben used to brew in garbage bags.
Yes. I mean, it looked like nothing less than a big, like those round things you put a keg of beer in to keep it cold. You put some ice, a big tote.
Yeah,
big
it's like a laundry tub.
Like a big round tub.
Right.
I'd use one of those, and then I put this.
Put an airlock on top of it with duct tape or whatever.
No, I had a pretty good system. And then when I was done brewing, I didn't have to clean anything. I just threw that liner away and put a new liner in. It was like beautiful.
Bagging.
And so I'm at a beer judging event, and we're helping judge beers like beer snobs do. So
Benbow bagging.
I show this to one of my beer brewing buddies, just some pictures of and he says, and he's dead serious, and he's mad about it, and he's like, "That is the most ghetto brew system I've ever seen in my life."
Nice.
And
bags.
he wasn't saying it nicely.
Oh.
I mean, he was just like, "Are you serious? Because there's nobody else that's doing this."
No.
Well, you know who did do it? Larry Bell. Bell's Brewery.
Bell's Brewery.
He used to brew in like garbage bags way back. I found that out after this guy called it a ghetto system.
Bag brewing.
So that stuck with me for the 3 or 4 days. And then
call me ghetto. I'm not ghetto.
And then I kind of reflected. I took a step back, tried to get less personal about it, and I was like, "Yeah, hell fucking yeah, that's ghetto. It is awesome ghetto.
You are
that's
correct.
The best ghetto
that's
ever."
Right.
And so
making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
And here I am winning awards and everything in my ghetto brew system, brewing 15 gallons of beer at a shot. It was so much
said
fun.
humbly.
So if somebody calls you a name, sometimes take a step back. Maybe we are ditzy blondes.
I was like, it's not a shtick.
Into it.
I'll tell you that.
I'm into it.
That's all I thought. I'm like, it's not a shtick.
Well, I don't know I don't know exactly what the ditzy blonde thing is.
I don't know either.
But I know whatever it is not a shtick.
No, this is what we're doing.
This
what
is
we
later
do.
today when I go to Kroger to buy some stuff. This is the same conversation, probably verbatim, I'm going to have with the lady at the checkout counter. All right.
It's all about holes, ma'am. You're born from a hole. You have a hole.
Penis. There's a hole.
There's a hole. Nose is 2 holes.
Ears.
So there's a couple
hole.
more holes. When you die, where are you going?
In a hole. All right, I think this tail end is last a long, long time.
Yep, that's it for us in our whole talk, and this is the end of the whole podcast. And we're gonna sum up the whole thing by saying, hit us up on social medias, Crime and Music, wherever you do medias and socialing, and wherever you get your podcasts. Share with a friend. I haven't asked in a while, but if you want to go to iTunes and leave us a review, that would be great. Give us some suggestions. Let us know. Wow, I almost said let us know what you do with your holes, which I guess I said.
I think that's more of a thing where they should, send a picture. Instagrams, Snapchat that one. Would you please?
Do it up, guys. Did you ever get the MySpace? That's running, right?
Yeah. Oh, they took it down.
Oh, man.
Yeah, too many pictures of holes.
Tom, that dude's so fickle with his friends. All right, guys, check us out every other Wednesday with a new true crime podcast about people in and around the music business, like the song says. Never trust a big hole in a smile.
That's a hole.